Hi, I'm Representative Alana Rubel, the House Democratic leader here in the legislature, and this is the Democratic Debrief, where we fill you in on what's been happening at your Statehouse this week. We had a couple of exciting bill introductions this week from the Democratic caucus. We had Representative John McCrosty introduced a bill banning conversion therapy for children under the age of 18. I'm sure you're familiar with conversion therapy, where they try to, pray the gay away, or at least try to convince LGBTQ youth that they're not really LGBTQ, and this has led to really serious emotional, sometimes even physical harm, and has been banned. I think the entire country of France just banned it, been banned in a number of states, and we're looking to see if we can ban it here, as has been recommended by a wide array of healthcare providers. They say it's terrible for kids. Also from Representative Chris Mathias, he brought a bill extending free tuition for the children of members of the armed service who die in the line of duty. So that would be a wonderful service for those of us for those who serve the country and their families, if we can get that through. Yesterday, we had a big press conference where we brought up the $600 million question. You've heard a lot about the Republicans' House Bill 436, which costs $600 million. It's a $600 million tax cut where almost all the benefit goes to the wealthy and to the most profitable corporations in the form of an income and corporate tax cut. We brought up a rival proposal for a better way to spend that $600 million, where the money would be allocated toward property tax relief, toward grocery tax relief, toward a refundable child tax credit, toward paying down some of those school bonds and levies that are driving up everybody's property taxes. And you can see here a chart where we lay out how we would spend that $600 million, which we believe would be vastly more beneficial to the people of Idaho and to the working folks and the people who need it than the $600 million corporate and wealthy giveaway that the Republicans are proposing. So check that out. We just wanted you to have a sense of the kind of tax cuts we would like to give you. Spread the word too. You'll see it on social media. We have some cool graphics laying out what we propose and what our plan does versus what the GOP plan does. Thanks so much for tuning in. I'll see you next week.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Senator Michelle Stennett, the Democratic leader in the Senate, and we're here again on Friday of the third week of session. I wanted to bring you up to speed on what's happening with the large tax bill as a $600 million tax cut. It passed the House and it just passed the Senate Taxation Committee and will be going to the floor of the Senate. Though we do agree that there is supposed to be tax cuts, there was a preference, and you may have heard it on other news networks recently, that we had proposed to have tax cuts based on what we'd heard from you. There was no one in either the House or Senate committees that wanted income tax cuts first. Everybody's been looking at grocery taxes and property tax relief, helping our EMS and our emergency services, dealing with infrastructure. So there's so much need out there, and this is a unique opportunity to take the resources we have and this extraordinary surplus to be doing things other than just tax relief, and which would benefit the greater majority of Idahoans far better than just the little bit of a rebate check that some Idahoans will receive with this big tax cut. I also wanted to let you know that there is a celebration that we are having, a resolution that I'll be carrying on celebrating the Sawtooth National Recreation Area's 50th anniversary. And the reason why that is so important is we know in our backyard it is an extraordinary jewel for us to recreate in. It's so beautiful, and it is an affirmation for protecting our public lands so that everyone can benefit from the beauty and all the resources that we get from it. And I also wanted to let everyone know that in the Senate, remote testimony during our committees is possible in every committee. And a new action that you'll need to take, you can come in person, but if you do choose to do it remotely and participate, you can do that by signing up on our website for signing in and telling the chairmen and women of our committees that you would like to testify. And if you have any difficulties finding that, please get a hold of our offices here, but we really encourage your participation and thank you for all the good work that you do and making sure that we're aware of your needs while we're here in session. Have a great weekend, and we'll talk to you next week.
Good afternoon. I'm Janie Ward Engel King, State Senator from District 18, and currently serving as the Minority Caucus Chair. It's nice to be here with you today. I serve on the Joint Finance and Appropriation Committee. I also serve on Senate Ed, Commerce and Human Resources, and Change in Employee Compensation. So this week in JFAC, we have had Higher Education Week, and we've heard from every one of the university presidents, and we're very impressed with what's happening in our universities today. I did want to tell you that one of the things that happened last year, the universities took a $2.5 million cut for perceived infraction with critical race theory. And I want to tell you that they've done audits. Holly Troxell came forth and did an audit to see if there was a problem in the universities, and it frankly wasn't happening. And in fact, our universities are celebrated with basically not telling our students what to think, but how to think. And that's their job. And so I was very pleased to see that. But we are seeing some residual effects to that. Because I sit on Senate Education, one of the bills that we're seeing this year is called Empowering Parents Grant Program. And, that's a great idea, and we're all in favor of empowering our parents. But one of the things that was red flagged in the bill is that this money goes to public students and non-public students, and it can be used for any educational services. And we have to be very careful because our Idaho Constitution says that absolutely no general fund, public funds can be used for private or religious schools. And that's very spelled out in our Constitution. And so we may have to do a carve out on that to make sure that would not happen. And I was worried because there was a piece in there where it said that, in fact, some of this money could be used if there was ever a constitutional challenge. And so that's problematic. If they're worried about that, then there might be a little problem with the bill. But hopefully we can get that fixed. And we have a lot of money this year. We have $600 million in ongoing surplus. So we have an opportunity to do some really great things for our children, for the state of Idaho, and for business and future economies. So it's up to us to set the priorities and make sure that this money is used wisely.
Hi, everyone. I am Sally Toon. I am the Democratic Caucus Chair in the House of Representatives in Boise, Idaho. What a week we've had. We started out the week as Education Week. We've had all of our post-secondary and community colleges, but we went down to high school, middle school, elementary teachers, awesome, our K-12 teachers. We started the week with the insurance bill. It will give teachers so much more paying power with their paychecks. It puts teachers or gives them the option of putting it into the state insurance pool, which we have wonderful insurance, lower deductibles, lower costs. It has the ability to give local school districts buying power by putting us all together in the state pool. It's an optional choice, but the discretionary money in our salaries or for districts, it will just help our local school districts. It has always been contention on what we use. Do you have salaries or do you have health insurance? Small rural school districts have to make those choices. When you have buying power in economy of scale, if you're a large school district, you don't run into that. Our small school districts run into it every 2 years when we rebuild insurances. So please, this is just astronomically a good thing for our small rural teachers, because you know what? Our salaries still haven't caught up to the 2008. I retired in 2014 because I still wasn't making my high salary, which my retirement is based on. You can look at several studies in the state, and our salaries are just now getting back to what they were in 2008. So it is a major family crisis with teachers' paychecks to make sure that, they can keep the roof over their head and afford health insurance for their families.